everybody, it's Gail from Gail's Bookish Things, back with another review. So I'm on my quest to find a paper that I will like when I can no longer get Tomoe River. And so far I feel like I have lots of options, and you probably do too, and you may have your favorite already. I guess I'm just thinking, will these other paper options that I'm exploring be as readily available as Tomoe River seems to be? So even though that's Japanese made, it seems like you can get it everywhere. Some of the ones I'm really liking, like the Cosmo Air, is harder to come by, I think, maybe a little more expensive. So it will be interesting to see what comes to pass with that. You know, what papers will replace. Let's see if I can get this open. Here we go. The one maybe many of us use. So I had it recommended to me to try the Muji papers. So sorry for all the noise. I know it's probably pretty loud on the other end. This is, let me show you what I'm opening here. The Muji Notebook A5 5mm grid. There's 30 sheets per book, and it comes with 5 books in this pack. I found this on Amazon. It's pretty basic wrap, no big deal there. Don't need fancy wrapping. Just to say, this is a slick light black, almost I think like a deep brown, but I think they call it black. Oh no, dark gray. No wonder, didn't seem black to me. Lighter gray binding, made in Japan, thread binding, and it's you can see the nice sewing job done there. A cream color, and 30 pages, so that would be, I guess, how do you do the math on that? It's 30 pages, but then they're folded in half, so you get 60, but then you have each side. Anyway, a whole bunch of pages. Okay, let's test this in the back and see how it works. I like to write where there's more cushioning. It seems like when I've done, got ink all over my fingers, so like kind of this where there's just one page in the back, I don't like it as well. I like a little more cush. Sorry, my fingers are like a mess. Ink everywhere as usual. So for this week I'm doing a red and a blue ink, a patriotic theme, as we draw near to our Independence Day. And then I have a little bit of something, I forget what I put in there, and my Leonardo pen with the Kujaku. I will look up what's in this one. It's one of my samples, and I filled that because I felt like using it the other day, but I can't remember. So I have my little handy thingy here. Here we go. My tab is getting bent. Let's see what's in that TWSBI. I always start out organized, and then these books take on their own personality and get disorganized. This is the Santiago Sea Blue by Organic Studio. It has a bit of a shimmer to it on the right paper. So I thought I would try that, and then I'm going to show you sort of an update on the Splendor gel, in case you've been wondering about that. So let's just see. This feels, reminds me kind of the Amazon paper, which, by the way, I did this. Let me backtrack here a little. Got a piece of my Amazon, just basic standard. Yeah, I mean, they seem similar. The Splendor Gel, the Cosmo Air Light, Leuchtturm. This is Tomoe River paper from the notebook that they call the author. Some of my Franklin, I think it was Franklin Christoph. I have to double check that, but I'm pretty sure it's their company. The bamboo based paper, there's more to it than that, but that's just how I remind myself. And then a piece of the moleskin chapters. I also had some other samples of Rhodia and the Toro Next, but I don't know where I put those. I was reorganizing my cart and I'm not sure what I did, but I thought this would be a good thing. Just have this kind of handy when I'm doing my ink of the week evaluations. So let's see how we like this Muji paper. Let's see, I'll just do my usual. Standing up and trying to write doesn't work real well. TWSBI Eco. And then I sometimes put the color cap so I distinguish the TWSBIs. I have a bunch of them that are all the same, so I just like to know which one I'm using, because sometimes even within the broad nib TWSBIs that I have, there seems to be some variation. The Monteverde. Jade Noir. I'm liking how this writes. Because my fear has been that I'm not going to have a ink that I've liked as well as the Tomoe River, and then I have all this ink and all these pens, and I won't have anything to write on that is nice for me. So this is good. This one I like. Let's do one of those little thingies. I've had a little bit of trouble, it feels like, with some of these, kind of doing a hard start thing. If you know anything about that, let me know. I mean, normally they work fine. Is it because maybe there's a little bit of buildup on the nib? I don't know. I've been writing with this a lot. Okay, you know what? This is really weird because when I'm looking in there, it looks like the Santiago. So I think I have another pen somewhere, and I have misplaced it, and that's why I'm confusing myself. All right, and then this is the, obviously, TWSBI Eco Broad Clear, and this is the J hairband, and I'm not liking this at all. It feels really dry and scratchy, and I've got a good amount in there. It is picking up on the shimmer. I don't know if you can see that, but I have a nice shimmer going, but just feels dry and scratchy. You can probably hear that too. Yeah, I liked that one. So, you know, I have my clear one. Hang on a sec. Okay, that's where I was confusing myself. This one has this kind of bluish look to it. So I was thinking this was the Santiago Sea Blue, but it's in my purple TWSBI. I just had it in the other room. So this is definitely the Jade Noir. And forgive my slow thinking there, making you hang on for my slow thoughts. TWSBI Eco. Purple. Purple pen. Let's see, I think it's Organics Studio. This feels pretty good right now. Pretty nice. It's flowing a little more freely with that ink than with the shimmer ink. So I don't think it's bad. I think I could like this paper as a regular. Seems like it's picking up a little bit on the sheen as well. With this one, this is an ink that sheens. And I think the Jade Noir, I've been using that a lot lately. I don't see as much. I don't think that's one that sheens. I think I just get some shading with that one, generally speaking. Okay, let's see. This one, this one, this one. I'm feeling, look at, something is not clean. My fingers have been inky all weekend because I have been messing around with the pens all weekend. Okay, this is nice. This is one of my ink of the week colors. This is Monteverde also, and this is the Capri blue. Now in my swatching book, this one shows a lot of sheen when I took a Q-tip and I just did a nice big long wet smear of the paint. I haven't been getting any sheen writing with this, but I have liked the flow of it. So that's interesting to me that there's so much sheen sometimes, or shimmer or shading with the swatching, but then, you know, when you write with it, it's not showing up as much. But this flows pretty nicely. This little stroke here is pretty nice. This was slightly drier, this not as much. I've liked this blue. I think it's a real pretty blue. It just seems like blue. Kind of a pure blue. I did notice writing with this, though, kind of funny that when I'm in my kitchen, this one and this one seem like almost glaring, and I think it's because we have new lighting. It's almost like it's hard on the eyes. So while it can be fun to write with it, it seems like rereading something, I don't know that I would want to keep reading in either of those colors. Now this Leonardo has been really very reliable, a very nice pen, a pleasure to write with every time I pick it up. Let's see how it does on the Muji paper with the Kujaku ink. It's coming out very wet. I won't go into all the Memento Zero, but they do call this one either the Blue Green, or I've seen it called, on my packaging it said Blue Lagoon, so who knows what the right name is. Let's see. I forget which ink. Yeah, I just said it. Blue Kujaku. So it feels pretty good. Goes on well, but not as smooth as I would say some of my other papers. And it looks like there's maybe a little bit of feathering there. I don't know. Let's try this again. Pilot ink. I just kind of goofing around here. This is working really well though. This pen has been so nice with this ink. It's a good combination. I like this the best in this. Probably these two of all this writing. I'm not getting any dry feel at all with this Iroshizuku Kujaku, but I'm not getting the beauty of the ink as much as I might on a different paper. But I think this would be a good paper for more general writing. Like, it seems very fountain pen friendly so far, but I don't find it as satisfying as like the Cosmo, where I'm just like, oh, I love this. Let's try a fine. Let's see. This is the Pilot Petite. Fine. And this ink is, which you probably know if you watch my videos, that I keep using the same thing over and over in a few of my pens. But that's really nice. So, you know, if you're taking notes in a class, in church, and a business meeting, and a whatever, this fine nib and this, it works. I'd say it's a really good combination. And I'd say they all worked fairly well. That one felt really dry. Not something I would do on a regular basis. And it looks like there's no bleed through. Maybe just, you know, I can barely, You can see that there's writing on the other side, but not any big amount of ghosting. So I think I would really like using this paper for a lot of note-taking, more for practical purposes than the joy of writing purposes. But again, some nice sheen showing through on the Organic Studio. I don't see the usual beautiful color on the Kujaku that I normally do on, like, say, Tomoe River or the Cosmo. This is shimmering a lot, but writing with it felt scratchy and dry. But it seems, yeah, I would say this is a really nicely, fairly fountain pen friendly paper. So I'm glad to know about this, and I probably would buy it again. This is just, obviously a little test. So sometimes my opinion changes, as I'm sure anybody's would when you use something for a while. Then you kind of like, you either find that you really do like it or not so much. And again, as the story with this whole thing, depends on the ink and the pen and the nib combination. So thank you for the recommendation, and I definitely I'm happy to have tried that paper and will continue to use that. So I was asked about the Good Inkpressions, the Splendor gel, and when I first wrote with it, I'm like, yeah, this is great, it's wonderful, and it is. But I do want to point out a couple things. I used my dip pen to test some shimmer and sheening ink. Somebody asked me about that in the comments, and I said I would give that a whirl. So the Emerald de Chivor, there's shimmer there, but you can see, I hope, a lot of feathering. The same with the Mercury Noir and the Eclat de Saphir. But that was, so I want to just defend this paper a little bit. It was in a dip pen, and it just takes up a bunch of ink. Maybe I dipped too much. Here is ink with White Lightning. This is a sepia by Diamine, and that was just like, whoa, just gushing out and very feathery. So that combination with the White Lightning on this paper didn't work with the sepia. Normal writing was very nice. I liked it a lot. The Organic Studio Frog did wonderfully with the dip pen, but a couple of these just took the ink and just soaked it up and spread. But like, as you can see, the Rouge Hematite here, nice shimmer, worked really well. This was the dip pen, and I think I used the quill pen here. Not positive. So, and then the Lamy, however you say it, Azurite is a sheening ink, and it just kind of feathered too. So I was like, ugh, that's not good, but it was a dip pen. In a normal pen, I felt like the experience was much better. So this is, again, the Rouge Hematite. And let's see, what did I use? I think I just got out, I got out my TWSBIs, and I just dipped them into the ink rather than filling them. And I just kind of am writing questions to myself so I can evaluate. Feels nice. It did not feather. And there was definite shimmer. I don't get any of the sheen of this ink here, but I have, like I've said, I haven't yet on anything I've really written with, unless I put a huge amount of ink down. And then the Capri Blue was very, very nice. Does not feel dry at all. It's very smooth. It was a good combination, the ink and the pen in this paper. And then here, a sheening ink, the Ralph Waldo Emerson. There's really good sheen there. I don't know if it's coming through for you, but as I tip this and it's in the light, you can definitely see the sheen. The Robert Oster Rose Gold Antigua in my dip pen. No, I dipped my pen in. It was really thick at first, and it came out almost too thick. Like that would be fun for art, but not normal writing. But then right away it lightened up, and there's a wonderful shimmer there. It's a real pretty ink. But I think I generally have found I like a dark based ink with these qualities versus a lighter ink. But that was really neat. It was just too broad. And then here again, the J. Herbin Eclat de Saphir, very vibrant color. Looks so pretty there. So I don't know if that one is supposed to do anything. I haven't had it shimmer or sheen other than it just being a nice bright, pretty purpley sapphire color. And then the Santiago Sea Blue by Organic Studio down here. You're definitely getting a shimmer. No. Sheen. And it's real pretty. That worked really well. So I would say to the person who asked, yes, it picks up on shimmer and sheen. I oftentimes get a lot of shading with the Ancient Copper, and there is some here. But maybe a little bit less on some other, less so than on some other papers. So yes, good sheener, good shading, a little bit of bleed through, but again, with a dip pen, and the nib was super full of ink. So in a normal writing experience, I don't think any of this would happen because all these are fine. A little bit here on the Rose Gold Antigua. Other than that, seems to be good. Let's flip this over. So where you can see where I did the really dark sampling, there's a couple of dark spots, but nothing that bled through with the normal writing and with the normal nib experience versus a heavy load of ink on a dip pen. So I think this is going to be another one that I'm really going to like using. So far so good. I just haven't had as much chance yet to do a lot of writing with them, but I'm excited about these two new options. So I feel like you know, I won't be destitute without Tomoe River. It'd be a sad thing, but got to find something that works in its place. So I think I showed you this, but with my future ink sampling, I'm going to try to do a sentence or two, or just some general testing on all those papers together at once. I try to take notes in my Ink of the Week notebook, but sometimes I forget that I've tried out several kinds of papers, so I'm going to keep better records, I hope. This has been a fun journey, I know I've said, but I find I'm really narrowing down some great combinations that will be very satisfying of a writing experience for me. This with the Kujaku, just consistently good. I think the Lamy tourmaline in here would be pretty too. I need to try that next. Anyway, so there, another paper to consider, the Muji, and then it looks like that's pretty abundant. I saw lots of things you could do or buy on Amazon with that. I don't know where else. I didn't search far and wide. I just went to Amazon. So there's that. Another possibility for you. Thanks for putting up with my tongue-tiedness. It's crazy. Anyway, someday I'll get my brain back in working order. Hope you're having a great day. Take care. Talk to you soon.